What's up, guys? I said I'd upload a video for basically all the wood I got to process and maybe take you through what I use a knife for and all this wood. This is just some of it. I still got stuff all the way out there by the chipper, but yeah. So it's gonna be a pretty short video. I'm trying to get some of this process. It's raining and I'm not really having a great time. Usually I got all this cut already, but usually there would be maybe some branches we missed here and there. I just basically use this to clean off branches like this. Anything bigger than probably I don't know, 2 or 3 inches, I'm just going to use a chainsaw for. But occasionally I will use a knife if that's all I have available. I do have another blade somewhere in this pile that I lost a few months back, but I don't think I'm going to find it until I actually go through all the wood. And a lot of this stuff is real big growth wood. I think there's some pine here. And what I usually process is locust, because that's what we have a lot of around here. But that over there is silver maple. That's some locust I never got to. What else we got around here? This is I think a really old piece of locust. I'll hit it once, see how. So I mean, you guys can. It's hard. So yeah, a knife with this kind of stuff isn't really sensible to use, but on smaller stuff, you know, like this, chops the limbs off. It's much easier to use. Basically, if I take down a tree, I'll just go through and get all the little limbs off with a knife, and then go back through with the chainsaw. Go for a little walk here. And I do have some more wood on the other side of here, right over there. And then I have all this to go through. Okay, so let's see how this knife does. This is the one I'm sending to Pierre. It's just the one that sits out by the wood burner. The serrations I was just testing on this to see how it would work before I send it out to him in case he breaks it. This stuff is all really too big to be even trying to chop through something this size, but sorry for the shaky video, but I couldn't find my tripod, and I'm really just working today on this, trying to get some of it caught up. This knife is pretty dull because I have been using it today. And the wood was all in that stuff, so it's very dirty. Now this stuff here isn't, but I think this is, I don't know, maybe 5 inches around. I don't really know how old this is. I think it's 3 or 4, probably 4 years old. So there's that. The biggest I'd use something like this on is maybe something like that. Wow. That must be really dull, or this wood's really hard. Trying to keep it in frame. Wow, that's hard. I think this is, I'm not sure what kind of wood that is, but that's really hard stuff too. Let me get my hood up. I think this is locust here. My intention with that cut up in there is just basically to chopping wood, just pick it up and sweep it away from you, or just kind of clear out stuff like this. Yep, this is some kind of ridiculous wood. I know it's really hard, I know that, because I'm swinging, it's just like bouncing off. That's the best I can get. Now obviously I'm not going to try to chop through that with a knife. I'll go get a chainsaw. Now this stuff here is more in the acceptable range of what I'd use a knife for, and typically why I like this kind of grip is because I have my other hand free and I can either pick it up or just grab it with the knife and then throw it off to the side. So this is inch to, I don't know, 2-inch stuff. So that's a pretty thick piece. It's really not that easy to chop and hold a camera, I know that much. Let's see what else we got around here. And then I got all this punky wood out to burn before it gets real cold. That was all buried in there. And I got this stuff to go through too. I know it probably doesn't look like much on camera, but I mean, this is pretty decent sized wood. Oh, look at that. More back beyond there. Fun. So do blades come in handy for me doing this type of work? On some things. Definitely when I take a tree down or something to get all the small limbs off. But as far as just playing around and trying to chop wood that it's not even close to going to be able to chop, no, I'm just going to go get the chainsaw. Now on soft stuff, this blade actually does pretty good. It's a little bit thicker behind the edge than I typically like. There's some junk trees up here I'm probably going to take down anyway, just because I'm not real fond of them. This is where I started to make a bike track, and for some reason it just must have been the right time of the year, and it just grew grass like I seeded it. I mean, it's thick grass all the way down through. Let's these are junk trees here, but they do grow pretty big. I forget what they're called. They're junk trees. They grow in basically any environment, and they're really soft. We'll give this one a whack here. So, I mean, that's just like a wrist flick. I'll give it one right here. So, I mean, it works good on fresh wood, and you guys can see a little bit softer wood. Still green, obviously, because it's standing. And this thing chops pretty good. Put on that harder locust. Seasoned. Yeah, right. Another reason why I like simple steels is because I do a lot of this stuff, you know, in the ground. Chopping it off or whatever, and I don't want a lot of wear resistance. All I want is strength and toughness. This one's kind of dead. So, there's that. But locust, I don't know why it's so prevalent around here, but that stuff is ridiculously like wood. This stuff right here. Now obviously you can't tell, but see these thorns. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. These thorns here, this is locust. And walking through this stuff is not a pleasant adventure whatsoever. Because it got nasty thorns all over. It's miserable. You can tell the difference there. And then there's the junk trees. I have a few walnuts down in there I'm actually probably going to keep. But that's just a short video. Hopefully this uploads, or a portion of it. It's December and it's rainy and 50 degrees. Where's the snow when I want it? Alright, gotta get back to work. See you guys later. Well, maybe not. Can't get the camera shut off. Rain.